So like Joy Music, you had Ducko and them. So and then we had the Music Exchange. You know where you can put your CDs in on assignment. So the thing that I disapproved of back then, but like we all growing into it. Everybody learning. We trial and error. But it was like I'm going to all these stores, putting in the CDs. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, after them getting the CDs burnt, I got me, friends of mine, everybody. We all over the house putting CDs together, packaging them, putting the inserts in, boom, 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 getting the boxes. Then I'm going to the stores, putting them in the stores. Now at the time, like I said, I only had 100 CDs. So we hit like Joy of Music, the CD Game Exchange over there off of across street from Southgate. You had what's the name up on Harvard, on top of Harvard, Crazy D, and a few other cats. So after I put the CDs in the stores, next thing you know, when I get another 100 burnt, so I can take them to the stores on the east side of town, the St. Clair and the Superior area, boom, they sold out. So now I gotta basically redo the ones on the east side. On the south side where we from, on the south side. So it was just crazy. But then next thing you know, they gonna tell me, now this is Strong Arm. They want me to burn the CDs, put them in the stores, and then after I go get them, get my money from the stores, then come and just break them off something. I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? If you were a label, that's supposed to be your job actually to do all that. You feel what I'm saying? So time just went by, I just couldn't do it. And then that's when the critical music situation came. So after I, did my thing with Strong Arm, I'm like, I ain't signing with no independent labels. I ain't working with them, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't know how to work line dance music, because none of them is line dancers. They still on, back then they were still heavy on, Master P was real big, on the No Limit wave. So they want all the street stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't on it, I do dance music. So the next thing you know, what happened is, the way critical music came, is my man at the time, Centipede, he hit me up, he say, well, he knew a guy that burned CDs. That's all we needed was just CD duplications, because I was selling them myself. Out the trunk, they selling out the stores left and right. Every week they sold out. So he was like, oh, we'll take you, it was called Critical Sound Lab at the time. Go over there getting CDs burnt up. But when I got over there, I see they had a big full-fledged studio. They had the production studio. They had them there like 5 or 6 CD towers, burning CD towers. They had the shrink wrap joints. They did everything. I'm like, damn, y'all the whole damn label.
That was on the west?
No, this was right here off of well, at first Drew was doing it in his basement, but then they ended up getting the building over there off of Payne, like around 40th and Payne.
Okay.
And like I said, he had the studio, the production spot, the booth. They had table like with all the towers sitting up on it. They had a big shrink wrap machine. They had the whole shebang. I said the only thing they needed was a distribution deal, because they had everything else. So me, running my mouth, I'm like, man, y'all might well start a whole label there. Next thing you know, P called like, man, they want you to sign a contract. I'm like, I ain't signing no contract with no local label. You know what I'm saying? I ain't on that no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm independent. But then, just chopping it up. He talked me into it. I told him, I'm like, look, one thing, y'all can't tell me how to run my group, because at the time, this 71 North we was hitting the streets out here real heavy. Get with them. Next thing you know, they call and say we got a record deal with Warlock Records. And I'm like, Warlock. At the time, I wasn't really hip with Warlock too much. I know Trick Daddy, Trina, all them. They all came through Warlock, but I really wasn't too familiar with them too much. But then, so I'm like, okay, so where the bread at? You know what I'm saying? Where everything coming from? They saying we taking everything on the back end. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, once again, this wasn't really no dream of mine. So I'm basically music business illiterate. I don't know nothing about the music business at all. Never even thought about trying to study up on it, trying to listen to none of that stuff. So, matter of fact, Suave is the one who really got me into the music game, because of the bootlegs. I don't know if you remember that, but the bootleg system, when we was in, I think me and you was at the mall, and somebody came and said they bought my CD. And I'm like, well, how you get a CD? Because remember, I ain't had no CDs. This is about 98, I think it was. And I'm like, I don't got no damn CDs. He said, man, it was a dude at Family Dollar had a whole box full of them called the $5 Hollers.
Oh, I know exactly who that is.
I'm like, the $5 Holler? I'm like, what?
Shout out to Two Tech, he still got them. He got the motherfucking flash drives right now.
Man, I go, look.
He got 100 songs on them.
He let us hear the music.
Yeah, $5 holler.
When we heard the music, it was like, let me see that booty bounce, let me see that booty bounce. And in the middle of the song, you hear, you're listening to WZAK. Now, they taped the music off the radio.
Wow.
Because that was the only way. They taped the music off the radio and put it on the CD and was banging the bootleg joints.
We just talked about that the other day, too.
And was banging the bootleg joints. And I remember Suave sat there.
Then it went to the $10 holler, and he was at every day, and them bitches all over Cleveland.
And I don't know if Suave remember this. I don't know if you remember this. Suave looked at me. He said, see, people making money off your music. He said, people getting paid off your stuff. Even the DJ in Cleveland built a house off of it. If y'all remember that mix CD, the Line Dance mix CDs, you know what I'm saying? I ain't know nothing about it. Mind you, once again, I was not thinking nothing about being in the music game at all. So I don't know nothing about no copyright, ASCAP, publishing, nothing. All I wanted to do was go to the studio, make a song, take it to the club, DJ play it, everybody dancing. I can sit there and say, see, I can do the same thing everybody else doing. It ain't that damn hard. That was it. But then once Suave would be like, man, people making money off your joint. I said, nah, I gotta go ahead and get this money. And that's really what got me into the music game, to start studying like, okay, I gotta get copyrights, I gotta get this publishing, I gotta get all this together and all that. So I had to just bring that back real quick. So go back to the critical music stage. We do the thing, everything going good, but I'm noticing a lot of shady stuff going on with these dudes. And like they tell us we got these shows, oh, we doing promos. All right, I understand you gotta do promos to get your name out there. But then when we going out doing these shows, I overhear one day, we was in Indiana, I believe, and one of the DJs was like talking to the CEO of the label. He was like, yeah, I hear y'all only charging $2,500. Man, I gotta probably get with y'all so y'all can get back down here again.
Ooh. Yeah,
I go to the band, I tell my boys, I say, wait a minute. They getting paid. They charge these people $2,500 and we ain't getting nothing. They gonna tell us as a promo. You know what I'm saying? But talk about, oh, you try to get you the good hotels and the good food, all that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh no, that ain't gonna roll. That ain't gonna roll. So later on, after a while, I come to find out, my man Joe Boone, rest in peace, my man Lenny B, they pulled me to the side and it was like, this how it went. They said, when I left Strong Arm, they didn't know nothing about critical music. Man, I wasn't even signed with critical music. I was just there recording and just doing production there. And they said the CEO of Warlock Records was looking for me. They heard my song, The Cleveland Shuffle, out in Memphis. Trying to do research. They're like, well, that's 71 North out of Cleveland. Said he reached out to, I think, either Lenny B. Lenny B reached out to Joe Boone to get in touch with me. They didn't know what was going on. So I guess he broke the news down to Lenny B what they was doing. They was trying to sign me for the single for the Cleveland Shuffle. From my understanding, it was for $100K to put on. They had like them little Dance USA mix CDs and all that. So they tried to pay me $100K to sign with them and for the Cleveland Shuffle. What happens after that is they come around. I don't know nothing about it. Then next thing you know, they sit there and say, this is when Strong Arm called me to the studio to sign. I guess they already knew about it, but they wanted me to sign a little contract with the label, this and that, this and that. Boom. So come to find out, they tell P go to the meeting. He bring Drew and Mark with him to the meeting. He don't know what to mean. He thinking that the meeting with Lenny B is about getting the song played in rotation on the radio station. When he get there, Lenny basically tell him, Warlock want to sign Big Mucci and 71 North for $100K. They're like, damn, whoa. After that, from what I'm hearing is, Critical Music went and found the A&R from Warlock, hit him up and said, well, you know, Mucci signed with us, so if you sign us to a label deal for like $60K, you still guaranteed to get Mucci, and you know, boom. So that's how I got cut out of my deal, and that's how the label deal came about. So, you know, once I found that, I'm like, man, this game is really some damn shady shit going on in this damn game here. And since then, you know what I'm saying, I just stopped fucking with them, you know what I'm saying? Contract was over with. Then they trying to tell me, like my partner JD, which was my hype man at the time, they wanted me to drop JD and put the CEO of the label as my hype man.
It wasn't Puffy, was it?
Huh?
Was it Puffy?
No, he wanted to be Puffy. He wanted to be Puffy. He wanted to be a rapper. Man, we do line dance music. We dancers.
Right.
The CEO wanted to be a rapper. So come to find out, so they booking us shows with like D12, trying to book us shows with like Scarface, you know, all these type of cats.
Right.
But then when we get to the shows, they sit there and say, oh man, you know, this really ain't your crowd. You know what I'm saying? I had a rap joint called the Cleveland Boys with me, my man JD and Goldie Montana.
Oh, DJ.
Yeah, DJ Goldie. That's my DJ now.
Yeah.
And
shout out to DJ Goldie.
yeah, shout out to DJ
Montana,
Goldie.
we own you.
And so they wanted us to just do that joint. And then the CEO, he wanted to get on there and do like 6 of his records. So, you know, ain't nobody stupid. I'm like, oh, so he using my name, he using 71 North Big Mucci to get the shows, because we got to have the music out. So he called a promoter, yo, I want to get Big Mucci on there on a promo. You think you know what I'm saying? A promoter ain't gonna turn that down. And then when we get there, he said, y'all do one song, and then he get up there and do damn near his whole album. Nah, so I just stopped fucking with everybody. Left it alone. Contract over with. The label ended up folding. I don't know what happened with it, but you know, they both went their own ways. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I just went independent. I just kept going.
That's the way to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the best way.
Independent. You already know.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all did a lot of tours and shit. This shit been going on for a minute too.